It's 1998, and The Big Lebowski has just come out and is opening to mixed reviews. But as time goes on, film reviews have changed and become more and more favorable, eventually garnering such a following that people have Big Lebowski bar hops where they drink White Russians and walk around in bathrobes. So it's pretty much Portland, Oregon on steroids, but not reading as much as it claims to. However, I believe the damage from The Big Lebowski and transgression the Coen brothers refuse to apologize for to this day is the scene when Lebowski gets in a cab and says, "I had a rough night and I hate the fucking Eagles." This has caused people to be dickheads about this forever. This week on No Accounting for Taste, we defend 5 people who would likely not defend one another. But this week we are getting to the bottom of a band responsible for loads of hits and gets tons of shit with our super special guest, Todd Barry.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah.
Very happy to have you.
Pal, you're good with words. You know that, man?
I think the gym is dumb.
Did Rachel walk in the room? Of course I've eaten a Baconator.
Man, if you ain't doing CrossFit, you can get CrossFit.
You're right. A long burger's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
That's your sitcom right there as a Mr. Fix-It-All who just can't fix his heart.
We will not be defending Atlantic City.
No accounting for taste. If it's something that somebody loves, let's try and celebrate it instead of shitting on it. Very happy to have
the domestic short hair.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Nice product placement.
This was your topic. You came in with
I did come in with that. And it rolled off the tongue when you asked me.
Yeah,
like,
you were very...
It's something I've thought about before.
Yeah.
You've been waiting for the chance to stick up for the Eagles.
Yeah.
In a
They really need your help, Todd.
Yeah, if they want to sell some tickets, they need it.
They get the Barry bump.
Endorsement from a guy who doesn't sell tickets.
Given your Twitter presence, I thought you were super famous. Okay.
No, I do all right.
Formerly Twitter, now X, or whatever.
I'm not calling it that.
I'll never call it.
So, Todd, did you just become a fan of theirs?
Well,
It's
not so much that I'm like today when I was researching this, I listened to the Eagles probably for the first time in my life, but
Really?
I thought you were like a super fan.
No,
That's what I had this built up in my head.
I just never. People just like the Eagles like this as this touchstone for like the worst band ever. It's like they're hardly hack songwriters. They know how to fucking write a song.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at their greatest hits that I took a screenshot of, and there's like a lot of little gems there. And it's like there's so many bands worse than the Eagles. I don't understand. Like,
Is it? You think it's that thing of them like they're just on top, so it's easy to like.
Well, it's all these pile-ons you see, like Nickelback, like people like slamming Nickelbacks. Like, when have you been? I've heard Nickelback 3 minutes of my life. Like,
Patton had a great bit about.
Oh, did he?
Like, just about how like everybody shits on Nickelback. Like,
okay.
They sang crappy songs to get laid. Do you know the other things men have done to get laid? Horrific things. Horrific things.
Also,
in the world.
Bands you love have sang crappy songs.
Oh
yeah.
I know my musical taste is terrible. So I'm with you. I think people got all up in arms. I think Big Lebowski solidified the hatred for the Eagles, and like when you're still trying to win your dad's approval, and your dad doesn't like the Eagles. My dad was opinionless on all music.
Yeah, my dad was pretty much that way too, which is so trap.
My father is Don Henley.
Well, now we're getting
to
the root of this episode now.
I will say, my personal experience with the Eagles is about my father, and there's only things like, when my parents got divorced, he would listen to Desperado in his truck.
That's not one of my faves, but
I'm guessing it's not one of Shane's either. Right?
No, I love that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like One of These Nights, that's a good song. That's kind of.
I don't even know One of These Nights.
I'm going to sing it in its entirety.
Yeah,
you're going to have to license this now.
We want to go in for these kind of problems.
You're a musician, Todd. I know that. I know you got the chops.
I'm a shit drummer.
I saw you play drums for Superchunk.
Oh, you were there?
I was there in Chicago. When
God.
And I was like, this is going to be a joke. And then you put on gloves to drum.
Did I put on gloves?
Ooh,
really?
Yeah.
I don't remember the gloves.
Barry's finally getting dressed up for the stage. This is nice.
And I like how you somehow conveyed the energy that Superchunk needed, but we're still very much Todd Barry behind the drum set. Your personal energy level was still mellow. I mean, you were still slamming them.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I had the benefit of I was opening for them. I opened for them. So then it's like, the comedian's playing drums. This is not going to be good. And then it's like, if you're half good, which I'm maybe a quarter good, then like, oh wow.
Yeah, there'll be a little. Yeah, if you can even do it a little bit.
I'm not selling myself as like if you have any session work, I'm available.
Funniest member of the Eagles, go. I'm going to say Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh, I think I saw him in a supermarket in California, but
that could have been so many people.
That's like
so many people getting kicked out of a Whole Foods look exactly like Joe Walsh. It's just one apple, man. I already took a bite out of it. You may as well let me keep it.
Yeah, he is probably the fun. He probably would be the funniest. I don't know if I've never heard like tons. I watched part of that 4-hour documentary, which was
that's
really
a lot.
That was
that's
like,
a real commitment.
That's commitment.
Yeah, like half a season of Game of Thrones for one band. It's like,
I don't need 4 hours of telling me.
Yeah, I don't know how
Eagles.
funny they are. I don't know if they do, how much they love performing still. Basically,
yeah, I mean, it seems like everything like publicly is like they don't like each other.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't have any. I always thought they were fine because it'd just be like another song on the classic rock channel, and all of a sudden they became this band that people chose to hate.
Is it a little
I was like, well, what?
dad rocky? Like you know what I mean? Like it's not like
it's not Billy
because there's not a ton
Squire.
of edge on it. You know, like when you listen to it, it doesn't have like a ton of. It's very listenable, but it doesn't have like a ton of teeth. There's not like an
Hotel California is pretty gut wrenching. If you don't imagine it coming from like what 5 millionaires. It's an amazing.
Yeah, that is
song.
That's a real good song. Like if I would turn it off in a second if he put it on right now, but it is a quality song. I think that's my point.
that is maybe that's the.
You know,
maybe if you hear it in a CVS is why people won't like it.
It's not like I don't know. It's just when people are like they're the worst, or like Coldplay's the worst. It's like there's fucking 10,000 bands worse than Coldplay.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, it goes to that kind of like the heart of the show is that like when negativity just became a valid form of opinion somewhere in the early 2000s where you're just allowed to shit on stuff.
Or dismissing something because people that you don't deem worthy of a good opinion like something. Like, well, you're not a music fan, so of course you like the Eagles. But you can still just, like, I want to go back to Joe Walsh for a second. That song, Life's Been Good to Me, is pretty hilarious.
What is that? I don't even know.
It's just about him, like, got a Maserati that does 185. I lost my license. Now I can't drive. It's just him singing about like in this whole chorus. The chorus is life's been good to me, and it's just the opposite of any emo. It's just Joe Walsh like things are going pretty good, and it's. I don't think it's ironic. I don't think it's like a turn.
That also takes me back to a very specific, like living in Florida. I think that when that song came out, so that kind of like
that's a very
that kind of emotional.
That life's been good to me. Playing in Florida sounds
that's a
like
Buffett
right on
adjacent type of song.
Yeah.
Speaking of Florida, can we comment on the humidity level of the studio right now?
It's pretty hot in here.
It's not.
Wow.
I'm not in charge of it. I just found
I know. I'm just saying. Can we we are glistening.
There we go.
We don't have control over the AC. And I have no idea why.
Yeah. Very good. Nice, cool.
We're shiny, happy people. As for a musical reference, if you want one of those.
I feel like maybe our generation's Eagles is like Counting Crows. It's in these bands that's
even
like
Counting Crows. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No. I just think they're one of those bands that people are like. It's in the middle of people who have like what you would call good taste in music. It's like the line between good taste and bad taste, and like.
I want to first notice that Todd's the first person in the history of comedy podcasting to apologize for cutting somebody off. You were just winning.
Yeah, don't apologize to me.
You're winning the day here, Todd.
This is what we've been missing for our dynamic on this show.
Normally I punch someone if I want to talk, but
it's like when they brought Rodman into the Bulls. So now everything's going to work out fine.
I just think that people they're like, this is the band I'm supposed to hate, and it gives me credibility. It's like there's certain comics, I'm not going to mention comics, who have been hated in the past, and people like fans of mine would come up to after show like, hey, you kind of hate this guy, don't you? Not really. No, I don't hate him.
I've kind of shared some pretty important moments in my life with that person.
Or even you're not ingratiating yourself with me by shitting on one of my peers.
Yeah. Well, and the universal hatred of the Eagles is just the universal because everybody liked them. So like you're just doing the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. It's a pretty thoughtless
I'm jumping on this bandwagon. Sonically, they're a fine band.
Yeah, they're a fucking real band.
It's really listenable.
Very listenable.
Yeah.
Who can we name? Henley, Joe Walsh.
What's the guy who died?
Don Fry? Is that?
I think
Glenn Fry.
Glenn Fry. He died, right?
Yeah.
I assume most of them were dead. Did Glenn Fry then go on to do The Heat Is On? From the...
Let me see.
He gave us that song,
I'll check that out.
Just what they gave us after the Eagles alone, we should be grateful for.
Was Randy Meisner in that group?
It was recorded by Glenn Frey, but it was written by Harold Falterman and Keith Forsey. Okay.
What was the name you just brought up?
Randy Meisner.
Let's get an Eagles lineup real quick.
Randy Meisner.
Because he did a free show when I went to University of Florida, and I went to it outside at the band shell. I think he was an Eagle. So that's my only Eagle live.
Randy Meisner.
Bass player. He's a bass player.
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah,
he
died.
He died too.
Well, I saw him before he
The original
passed away.
4 founding members of the Eagles, I read about this a little bit. He had a lawsuit with the band of the other guys. The original 4 founding members of the Eagles were Randy Meisner, Bernie Leadon, Don Henley, and Glenn Frey. Later members included Don Fielder, Joe Walsh, and Timothy B.
I think an autobiography of Randy Meisner called "I Thought He Was an Eagle" is a pretty good self-aware title for an autobiography. Like Bob
That could be pretty funny, like a very like Bruce Campbell, like if this chin could talk kind of thing.
Yeah, wasn't he an Eagle?
Bobcat Goldthwait's. I don't want to offend you, but you look like Bobcat Goldthwait. I think
Is that one of the names?
The name of his album.
Really?
His albums, yeah.
That's fucking fantastic.
All right, so these guys,
I think
I
it's fine to me. Like I don't like. I thought you were like a super fan when you suggested.
Oh no,
it.
I'm sorry if I misled
Have
you.
you saw
Randy
you may
Meisner.
have seen one of the Eagles.
I saw Randy Meisner. Yeah.
I know don't know any super fans of the Eagles though either. That's one of those things that maybe it's like, how is this band so popular? But you talk to anybody that you know, and they're like, yeah, either they hate them or they're like, yeah, they're fine. How is it somebody likes this?
It's a fucking.
Somebody is eating all these McDonald's cheeseburgers for them to have the sign that says over 50 billion.
Yeah, that's a fucking point.
Yeah, then
I don't know. Maybe it's like a generation, because it's also a generation or two ahead of us, too. So I think maybe that's it.
I have a very specific Eagles fan memories where my mom was online gambling, and she met friends. This is who an Eagles fan is.
Okay.
And she met friends. Like, that's what you do, 10 p.m. She'd get on and talk to her friends and play their little online gambling game, and to the point that they became a real life friends. And she was visiting them in California. I happened to be playing nearby, so my mom and dad were out there. They were meeting my mom's online gambling friends, and it was definitely like my mom and the woman she played the game with were like coffee clutching, talking, and the woman was like, "Hey, go show them your new TV setup," like telling like making sure the kids play together.
Yeah.
And he just had like a real nice TV setup, and he had a DVD, like a Blu-ray of the Eagles concert. And he's just like, yeah, man, stereo, Eagles. That was him. And me and my dad were like, all right, pretty cool. And that's the closest I can think of. Like
awful. That sounds like a fucking nightmare.
I didn't know.
God damn.
I didn't know
want to be my mom's internet friend in California. Jesus.
They're nice people.
I'm sure they were great.
Yeah. So there's like a chat room in the online gambling?
I guess, yeah. She was playing for years. She was.
I'm glad your mom found some nice friends.
We have so much in common. I bet my rent money, and you bet your rent money.
Yeah, I know a place to meet roommates. They're in the little pop-up window next to this roulette.
You had a hot month. Can I borrow a few bucks? Coming up short. Yeah, I've never. The Eagles are just fine to me. I have no real issue with them. I just thought you were like a super fan.
I'm
or
sorry.
Something.
No. I just immediately thought of that when we were talking and you said Hoots.
This is not my story, but I will say this is Ian Carmel's story, but he's shared it plenty of times. It's like when he worked for Chelsea lately, she bought them all tickets to see the Eagles as a thank you, like at the Forum. But Joan Baez was the opening act.
Oh, God.
And then the middle act was JD in the Straight Shot, which is, you're not going to know. You'll know this when I say that James Dolan is the owner of the Knicks and he owns the Forum. Oh. Like, he's just a rich guy. Like, he put his own band. Like,
oh my God.
So it was American songstress Joan Baez, then JD in the Straight Shot, and then the Eagles. Which is like just such a power kid move, you know? Like,
I think I'm surprised he didn't go on after the Eagles.
He owns like he like owns the Beacon and all these other spots.
God,
like he owns like all these. Yeah,
Says my stadium. Baez is going first.
It's like when a bad comic runs a room or something.
Oh God!
I mean, not that I've ever seen that.
No. Why are they always libertarians too? Libertarian club owners using 20 minutes of stage time to bitch about local ordinances to the.
I feel like there's a few Eagles fans that are probably pretty hardcore libertarians.
Yeah, I wonder what the crowd at an Eagles concert is like. What's the oldest musician you've gone to see? Like that, in that they were like We saw Van Morrison.
Elton John.
We saw Elton John.
How was Van Morrison?
I mean, pretty sleepy.
He's like the most, as far as hearing anecdotes about him, he's the most hit or miss performer in history. Either it's like that was transcendent, or that I'm gonna call Ticketmaster for a
Everybody
refund.
says he's like Babe Ruth, like he either strikes out or hits a home run.
If this was one of his transcendent shows, I guess I was not as much of a fan as
I don't
everybody
understand
else.
why those guys tour and not have a good time. Like even I don't know if Dylan's shows are always like he still tours relentlessly and
Yeah, the things with his shows is people say he plays the songs because people people want to hear them and they'll stop singing, but he only plays them the way he wants to play them.
I mean, I
So
kind of admire that also on some level.
Well, that's what I didn't understand. Like when Faith No More hit, like the song "Epic" was huge, and then they would get like MTV awards, and he would just totally fuck off singing it. And I thought, like, oh, what a horrible live band! But it's Mike Patton's just always like in perpetual motion. Like the guy's like hates having a hit, and so he would just sing it like an idiot on TV shows.
Do you really think he hates having a hit?
I think he
he loves owning a house.
I was going to say,
But I think,
man,
but
this
there's those
happened.
guys that like hate being told that you have to do this now.
Yeah, I mean he is one of those guys of it, but I think he like
I actually saw Faith No More before he was in the band
Oh, you saw the We Care a Lot
in
or
Miami.
Faith No More?
They were opening for either the Meat Puppets, maybe, or Red Hot Chili Peppers, or this is in the early '80s.
I like that We Care a Lot era. That was good stuff.
I mean,
well, we're here to talk about the Eagles.
Well, but,
like,
but I know we can divert. It's the same thing as like when you go to morning radio and they're like, "Oh, do that joke."
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
well, no, it's not.
That is true.
the
That's a
same when
very
you
good
Tell
point.
me I
Yeah.
have to do it.
yeah, but
I don't think the Eagles have that problem. I think the Eagles are going to play Hotel California.
Yeah, they're going to do. They're not going to come out. We're doing the new stuff tonight,
that is what
and only the new stuff.
I saw Our Lady Peace at the Troubadour like a few years ago, and the singer actually came out and he goes, "Look, guys, we're gonna play the ones you know, but I got to do some of the new ones first." Like he was extremely candid.
Don't you
about
get
it.
jealous of that as a comic? Like,
Yes.
oh my god.
Wouldn't I just love to trot out some old turds?
Yeah. Fuck. You want my joke about buying a tie at Old Navy? You got it.
There you go. So much for the element of surprise.
Now it's communal. Let's all say it together.
There's a comic in Chicago who would do the same jokes at open mics to the point where people would like say the punchline along with him, and I think he misinterpreted, thinking that
It was like fandom.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
no,
that's
man,
funny.
We kind of
Well, I think we got to get to the next segment. Like,
we were going pretty segmentless on this one.
yes, we are. But I'll get to I'll use some of the research Charlene
Let's hear.
Payne said.
Yes, Charlene did it.
Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back. That was DraftKings. They're the sponsor for now. We lose.
We're betting
We-
on
we lose
we're
that.
betting on DraftKings being our sponsor for a few more weeks.
We're rolling the dice.
What's the over under on DraftKings sticking around?
I made fun of your mother's gambling.
My mom only uses DraftKings when she's playing the sports book.
Okay, here's a few impressive things about the band. They were formed in '71, and it just took 5 years for them to become one of the best-selling artists of all time. The Eagles band members, Don Henley, Glenn Frey, we all know this. I should have read some of this before.
Randy Meisner.
Randy
not a
Meisner.
rockin'
Long.
name. Randall Meisner.
It sounds like you're calling someone's name for a class.
Yeah, Randall Meisner's. He handles the legal affairs for the Eagles.
But I think they get into each other's shits. Like, one of the things here is like, the band was best with all these great singers and great musicians, but Henley, as sang, was the lead singer on 24 songs, and Glenn Frey on 23.
Ooh.
And, yeah, there's a little bit. There's like, this is where like their tension comes into
That's
play.
worse than if it was like 10 and
You know
24.
they're looking at that Wikipedia page to be like, update it. I just put a new
Let me
Eagles
just do one.
song
I want to
out.
tie it up.
Well, Henley's in the lead because Hotel California was his most thank you.
We've only been doing
His
this a
most
couple
famous
years.
song, and then Tequila Sunrise is Glenn Frey's best like or most popular lead vocal song, which I don't even know.
It's another tequila.
Do you know One of These
Sunrise.
nights?
That one.
No, I don't know one of these.
That's a good song.
I've not.
They're all good. They all have.
I do
the
like
hits.
Take It, and Randy Meisner did sing "Take It to the Limit."
Oh,
They
there,
also
okay,
sing,
there you go.
They also
Yeah.
seem very litigious, so let's not play any. 'cause this
Yeah, they go.
episode-
They seem to get
Oh
after
yeah,
each
did
other.
he sue? Who did he went after someone. Who did he go?
I just thought they were always suing each other.
He sued like an indie band over something. I don't remember. Now I fucking wish I remembered.
Well,
because it'd be a great moment.
in an article
Now,
from
this whole podcast, let's go. Was that guy the thing?
It's just a bunch of guys with bad
in an
memories.
article from Billboard called "Why Are the Eagles So Hated?" An explainer on the immensely popular yet divisive rock band said, "They're the most unpopular, super popular entity ever created by California, not counting Ronald Reagan. They effortlessly represented what people do not like about Malibu."
All right.
Which is...
Well, who's going to Malibu?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever
It seems like
been to
this person
Malibu.
has an agenda. They're working on themselves.
I can't in the excess of like the 70s, because when did they break up? When was their official termination?
They've gone
80s.
But they're still touring now.
Well, no, I remember the whole thing was
Hell
like the
Freezes
Hell
Over.
Freezes
Yeah,
Over
yeah, yeah.
tour.
Oh, is that when they
It was
got
like
back?
they were coming
Oh,
back.
that was like their marketing for it.
Yeah, which
Jesus
is a pretty
Christ.
good.
That's a pretty good title.
Because it was one of those, like, I just
Very nasty
remember
public.
it was like, well, these guys hate
But I
you.
imagine
That reference made its way into an SNL sketch. Like, you guys are like Glenn Henley and Fry. This is
I imagine
never...
it's pretty easy to. I mean, even if you hate the people you're working with, like we've all worked with people we hate in an office or something, and you're getting $800,000 a show or whatever, 50,000,
Yeah.
500. Say, all right, I get on my own separate bus, I fucking have my own car, I stay in my own hotel room, and I just play music with this guy, and I don't really have to talk to him.
And they
What a
still
w-
can't do it. And they still can't do that.
Yeah, I know. Like it seems easy. I mean, like even like Guns N' Roses got past something that they were feuding.
You know what I heard that was that Slash did not have a. I don't know. This is just a thing I heard. But Slash did not have a prenup with his longtime lady friend. And they were like together from the early days of Guns N' Roses, like 80s. And I don't know if he did like cheaters or whatever, but split up.
You don't know if Slash cheated on his longtime partner?
Slash
I have
is-
a pretty good idea.
Slash is a surprisingly well-spoken and intelligent guy.
I
if you've
just
ever
got an
seen
email
interviews.
from him about a week ago.
From Slash.
Yeah, I'm not going to show it to you. I'll show it to you, but I won't want you to. I don't want you to read it or anything.
What is it? Is it shudson@gmail?
It'd be great if it was just
But-
from his fan club.
But
Like,
she
he thought he had-
she scooped all his money, and that's why Slash is in a Geico commercial now.
I just yeah. I'm going to show you. But
All right.
That's pretty cool.
What was the context of
the
that?
context is he makes an appearance in my special, and I told him about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Oh,
don't
he
wanna-
yeah.
he
I don't
didn't
wanna
know
ruin-
he was in your special
No, he
until
didn't.
you told him about it?
No. But he's very from my limited experience, he's very he writes back. He's very polite. If he doesn't write back immediately, he goes, "I'm sorry, I didn't write back immediately."
My friend owns a pinball company. Like they fix machines and they make merch. And he's like a big pinball guy. Like he designed the Guns N' Roses pinball.
That's
gun.
a good game.
Yeah.
That's a good pinball game.
But he wore one of their shirts in some video, and then people went like fucking apeshit for it. They like sold out of them right away, and he was like real nice about
I mean, not that we're pivoting to an all Slash episode, but
I'm fine
early
with
on,
it.
I was most excited because Slash was one of the guys that had roots in BMX. So you'd see him in wearing different BMX company shirts.
Is that bikes?
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's Kyle's
BMX
thing.
bicycles.
Oh, is that what you do? Okay.
Yeah, because all these metal guys were all dressing up, and then Slash would just wear a Vision.
I haven't been on a
Streetwear
bike
shirt.
in decades. You think it would be? I think it would not go well.
I haven't been on a bike.
I mean, I'm
think a
not ready to
special
dive into the
episode-
world of BMX, but I mean, even
a city bike. You
yeah,
think?
I think I'd be.
Well, what's the drumming skill where you being able to use your arms and legs independently to keep rhythm?
I don't even know. I probably can't do that either.
quadrability? You're a drummer.
Quadrophenia?
It's something about being able to use all independent.
Limbs like have them all do
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
Oh, ambidextrous? And that's more.
Well,
left.
that's with your legs too. But
Oh,
then
okay.
that's all you need to ride a bike. I think you'd enjoy riding a bike, Todd.
All right, I'll take a bike home.
Let's get that. This will be the content for the Patreon
You know what?
that we don't
It's
have.
the beauty about podcasts that when you're not good at them, you can just talk about whatever anyway. And now we've
Are we
jumped
going
from
am I
Slash
doing-
to Todd riding a bike.
Well, I'm
in a
going to
matter
try
of
and
2
steer this
minutes.
back up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. There's nothing to be sorry about. I just Charlene does a lot of good work for us,
Yes,
and we
yes.
always fuck it up. So
Okay.
Yeah.
the Eagles are one of the best-selling bands and have sold more than 200 million records, including 100 million in the U.S. alone. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1998 and were ranked number 75 on Rolling Stone's 2004 list of the 100 greatest artists of all time. 75, and they had the first and third best-selling album of all time. Seems
People
a little.
don't want to give them the credit.
Yeah,
They don't want to get.
They're
maybe
ranked 75 in.
the
Top
Rolling Stones
100.
top 100 artist of all time.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Their greatest hits
JD
album.
and the Straight Shooters were 74.
Straight Shot.
Oh,
Get it
okay,
right.
sorry.
The greatest hits
74, yeah.
album has gone platinum 29 times. So 29 million copies.
It really feels like you could just steal that out of somebody's car at this point. There's no who's buying.
Maybe
Who's
that's
going? You know what I need is this Eagles because I've never heard of the radio before.
I'm guessing that's slowed down. Those sales have slowed down.
Maybe a touch.
Now that
but
you don't
I
ever
wonder what
have to
their
buy
like Spotify monthly listeners is at. It's probably insane.
Did you notice that in the Big Lebowski that when the Jesus is bowling, that's a mariachi version of Hotel California? So they do sneak it in there, and it's great. Mariachi covers of any songs I'm on board with, but it works wonderfully for that song.
They have 20 million listeners a month, and Hotel California has been streamed over 1 billion times. That was just a text coming in. That was not a gotcha moment for Don.
That was a notification from the Eagles.
I blew it. And for that, they got a check for $1,100.
Yeah, it's not going to say, oh, God. What a bummer to hear.
We'll defend Spotify next week. I wish, I have another Eagle. No, it's a Creedence reference.
What?
I used to live across the street from this guy when I was growing up, and he was like a real psycho, and he's like missing some fingers, but he would like pull his amp out onto the driveway. He's like, play Creedence, and you just like nub through songs. But if you're like a guy with missing fingers playing Creedence, you got Eagles in the catalog too.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's just a bar jukebox.
But like those are the kind of people I associate with these bands. So maybe that's why people want to hate them because of their association.
Well,
Think for
somebody,
yourself.
Bernadette Beater. This is an article showing woman stabs roommate for refusing to stop listening to the Eagles. It's unclear which of the band's songs drove Bernadette Beater, 54, over the edge, but police had narrowed down the possible suspects of witchy woman, take it easy, and peaceful, easy feeling, take it to the limit in one of these nights.
I hope it was peaceful, easy feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hope it, but I mean, that sounds like the one.
She confessed to the crime, but claimed it was an act of self-defense.
Oh, my God.
Well, if you're trying to protect your mental well-being, I don't know. I could see a really good lawyer getting that one. At least getting it thrown out.
It does seem like Hotel California is the kind of song like soldiers would play to drive people crazy.
I always wanted to get that playlist they used on Manuel Noriega to get him out of the palace. Because, like, what if he's inside, like, what? I love Van Halen. And he's just like, yeah.
It just took so much, like, just dancing around in his socks on
Yeah,
marble.
like-
They're like 7-Elevens that blast classical music to get
To keep, the
young, tough guys out of the
I thought it was to
hanging
keep
out.
homeless people from
Oh,
sleeping.
maybe that also, but
Which the first time I experienced that, not knowing that was the reasoning, was about
I'm sorry. I'm
convenience stores.
you will blast classical music to scare off so people who are hanging out, loitering, will hit the road.
To disrupt loitering.
Really?
Yeah.
But 7 a.m. when I was living in Highland Park in like East LA-ish, back when it was still East LA-ish, and going to 7-Eleven, and that was happening at like 7 a.m. I'm like,
it was just like blasting Moonlight Sonata.
Yeah. But I didn't know that was the reason. Like, what's going on? Like, I thought I was having like
the way
a
like
stroke.
cops now, like whenever they're being videotaped, will just like pull out their phones and play Taylor Swift songs because they know it can't go on YouTube.
really?
Yeah,
Is that true?
Yeah, because it's copyrighted so heavily. So
I don't want to acknowledge cops, but I'm like, oh, that's a sneaky one.
yeah,
That's
it's
a good
a little
one.
like, well, you're the enemy, but it might not be as dumb as I was hoping.
I feel like
you
that would be a fair use scenario.
Yeah. Let's
We have
ask
evidence
Taylor
of a
if
murder
she's
here, but there was a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah. Let's see if Taylor's
Playing.
cool with it.
One of the pluses for the Eagles, I don't know why I'm still trying to do this, but they apparently are flawless live as a band. Like everything was precise. And
I would hope so with those numbers
like-
they're putting up.
Yeah.
If you've been playing the songs for 70 years, I think you should
Yeah.
probably know them.
I don't know,
They
pay
were playing this-
$500 for a ticket.
They'd be
They're like,
like,
Joe, you're flat.
Well, didn't you say you saw Metallica when they were warming up for their last tour,
Yeah.
and they were like they had
And
a
they
little
were, but they were. It was a
warm-up show,
surprise warm-up show.
but
And that
you
was-
could see the rust on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
Open for who now?
No, I was supposed to play this venue in San Francisco, and I got bumped, and I couldn't tell anybody because it was actually Metallica wanted to do a warm-up show at that venue. So I was like, well, okay, I'm getting bumped.
Was it the Independent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they put me in
there.
Bimbo's 365, which is a great venue. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with it, but can you get me into the Metallica show? And so I went over there, and they were kind of like, I mean, Lars is not a good drummer.
Oh.
Todd, do you want to speak to this?
I just got an email from Lars, so I'm not going to say.
I'm sorry. Are we about to reveal a super
Did you
group?
know you did it? Oh, God.
Don't you? What? If you're taking this joke this far, really? What?
He's
You
in
might
my,
be the fucking coolest person I know.
he's in my special too. I mean, he seems like a fine drummer to me.
All right. Well, okay. I mean, too late for me to backpedal, but you can save yourself on this one,
That's
Todd.
the magic of editing. This ain't radio, baby.
I feel like I don't think I've ever seen a band that had a bad drummer.
Well, I
Like
saw Metallica, so.
I'm sure I have. I think I was in a band.
I
with
mean,
a
any
bad
band that
drummer.
feels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Come on, you go to see punk rock bands.
That's hard drumming, actually, if they're good at it. But I guess, yeah, I mean,
It's
also don't
calisthenic.
I also don't have I'm not going to be like, that guy's behind the beat. Like, I have no idea.
I'm not. I'm not going to something I enjoy to analyze it
right.
that much.
That guy's ride cymbal technique's a little off for my taste.
Like
with all the fucking roto toms.
Love a roto tom.
Yeah.
Thank God. I always trust a fat drummer too. That's
fair.
a rule.
Fat drummer, never a fat pilot.
I've never seen a fat pilot.
Yeah. My buddy had a joke. He goes, "Fat pilot? Ugh. Picture of a pilot, fat." He goes, "You're thinking of a bus driver."
I long held that police uniform shouldn't come in double XL. And take one walk down in Chicago and watch where that guy's so fat he qualified for one of the urban ATVs. Like he's not walking a beat
It
anymore.
is
He's
wild
strolling.
when you see a cop. You're like, I think I can physically.
I'm not body shaming it, but like that's a job that physical fitness is a part
Well,
of.
if your gun is like getting pinched down by your love handle when you draw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm most surprised when football players have a gut. You're like, man, who's exercising more than these fucking dudes?
Yeah.
but those are the guys that just
What
need
hope
to be
is
the
there for me? I
wall.
go to gym for 20 minutes
I think
every
like-
3 weeks.
Some of it, like, there are athletes for 100%, but some of it, like, we're also size. It's just kind of like a thing you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have that weight on you. You have to be big enough to carry it
But
around.
Big folks behind a drum set. There's like, I don't know if this is going to sound bad or what. There's like an inherent rhythm to larger people. I think there's more.
Well,
I'm just purely, but there's more of like
That's
a body
saying,
awareness.
You Jewish people are very good about being educated.
And fat people, they walk to a beat.
They're great at drumming. See how positive I am?
You know what? I'm saying something good, and they are. Also, they got to load all that equipment in. You're not going to see somebody that's already going to get out of breath quick loading a full kit and then be bad at it. Like
The reward is to play and be good.
Yeah, and
Oh, again, I don't. All right, we're gonna go into the voicemails.
All right,
We've
sorry,
sufficiently
sure.
fallen off the fucking track on this.
do you know the band The Ergs, Todd?
No.
You may like them. Goes against my theory. Mike is a very tiny man. Great drummer.
That's true. There's a
Okay.
great cover of "Hey Jealousy."
Yeah. This is a great, good band.
Yeah.
Like kind of hired gun in the punk rock scene. Is he in your phone too?
Who's that?
Mikey Erg?
No, that's weird.
Okay. I was surprised.
Both of you guys are in my phone now.
Yeah.
God damn it.
We've texted. Not on these threads with Slash and Lars.
Yeah, fucking introduce us to your cool friends.
Got anybody from Bang Tango in there? Got anybody from Y&T?
I've had some great airport encounters with rock stars, but
Oh yeah, let's hear some of them.
You really want?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
well,
What's the first one that comes to mind?
the one that, and I've done this a few times where I've had to sort of figure out who someone was. Mm-hmm. This guy was walking around the airport with big round glasses, like totally like I'm a rock star. I was kind of like, what's this guy's deal? He seems, because you know the way someone is an actual rock star, it seems like they carry themselves, not in a way like, oh, this guy works at a record store.
Yeah.
Like they carry in the way. And I overheard him on the phone talking about a guitar he was selling. Mm-hmm. And he said, I played it on this song. And then I looked up the song. I was like, oh, and I really, some guy from a band, Enough.
Chicago's own Enough's
really?
Enough. Yeah.
The guy with
Fly High Michelle. They're great.
Yeah.
They were like, they took glam and like cranked it.
Yeah, I just thought. And then there was another time I was online for coffee, and this guy, rocker dude behind me, says, "Oh, you're a comedian, right?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Hi, I play in Skid Row."
Who are we talking?
Was it Sebastian Bach?
Snake Sabo?
No, it was
That's the only other guy.
I don't
Guy
know.
with the chain ring that goes from his nose to
no.
his ear.
And then I got one more metal version. I was sitting next to. I saw this guy walking around the LaGuardia or whatever New York airport was, and he's wearing a tracksuit, long hair. I was like, oh, this is a rock star in the tracksuit.
Turns out it's just like a Chechen rebel.
No. It's a hairdresser, no. Yeah. But I kind of sat next to him at the gate, like right next to the woman he was with, and I heard they were going over something. He's reading reviews of his new album. It was David Coverdale.
Who is David Coverdale?
Coverdale.
I don't even know.
Coverdale just
What is it?
Coverdale
Was he Queensrÿche? No, not Queensrÿche.
No, he was Whitesnake.
Whitesnake.
But he kind of jumped in and was like, he was doing stuff with Jimmy Page.
Okay.
So he was kind of taking Robert Plant's
Oh, okay.
slot
So he's kind of doing like
and it was Coverdale
doing the Zach
Page.
Wilde thing, kind of.
Yeah, and he was singer for Whitesnake.
Okay.
It's funny when you could always tell it's when the people have too much jewelry on for the airport.
There's a
Good. Keep the sunglasses on because you don't want anybody to notice you.
they're like peacocking like they're on the Vegas Strip. Yeah, and you're just like, well, we're all at a fucking Hudson News.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, when you see somebody too dressed up in a chain that is only in airports,
I'm still not letting you cut in line at Annie's Pretzels.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Still, the night was great. Get back in the line.
Life hasn't
Coverdale.
taken down any of those guys enough. Oh.
Tawny Kinane in her heyday. Good job on you for that.
Hey, I wouldn't knock it. Well, this is the part where we hear from you, the audience, about the Eagles, which we have barely talked about today, which I'm fine with.
We listen. The podcast is
I just
what it
want,
is.
when Charlene goes to edit this, I want her to know I tried. I don't want to hear about it.
She can make it Eagle-centric if she cuts out all the...
I don't care.
all the juice.
She's not going to do that.
That's
This is
true.
the funnest. This is the best episode we've ever done, for sure.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's a horrible show.
Okay.
I don't know why people are listening to it. We're not getting. Yeah, I got an email from
We have a hard time keeping on the.
no one in particular, like a regional software salesman today. I don't got any cool emails. I got nothing. This is a horrible riff. We'll cut that.
Regional software sales.
What is this doing this for now?
All right. Are we going voicemails? What are we doing?
Yes, we're going voicemails.
Okay.
I'm trying to. Okay, here we go. First voicemail.
Hey, Kyle,
Smooth
Shane, and
operation.
Charlene. I personally don't have too strong of an opinion about the Eagles. However, my ex had a thing where she just couldn't be alone with her thoughts. So if we were ever driving anywhere or doing anything where there wasn't TV playing or video games or whatever, she had to listen to music, and it had to be classic rock. And for some reason, she despised the Eagles. So whenever we were together, if an Eagles song came on, I got to listen to what I wanted to listen to. But anywho, she's an ex. I guess that's why I kind of had a little bit of a sentiment for the Eagles on my heart, but probably for all the wrong reasons. Anywho, meow meow. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.
Wait, was that a cat?
Yeah,
Shane's trying to force a catchphrase.
It's
Oh,
worked.
really?
It's
Oh, you were
worked.
saying
It's worked.
Okay. I thought the guy just did it on his own.
I may have forced it, but admit that it's a thing now.
I don't want.
People say meow meow at the end of their calls.
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
call them little kitty
That's
cats.
kinda funny.
Yeah,
Kind of funny.
kind of like our show.
Yeah. I, you know what? As much as I want to make fun of that, I can also get on board with the being alone with your thoughts thing. Like going to bed at night, I have to listen to something. Almost 100% of the nights, I have to have like a podcast or something going on. But classic rock is a weird
thing to have to be in the middle of.
It's interesting that she loved classic rock, but not the band that's like the ultimate classic rock.
Yeah.
I
A band that's going to tell you to take it easy.
The definition of
I can't say if I was couldn't be alone with my thoughts. I don't think I would want to hear Hotel California. It's got a real sadness to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all right. Well, again, I think we're gonna. I'm gonna. Hey, DraftKings, take a bet. I bet everybody's gonna be like, yeah, I don't have a real strong opinion about the Eagles, which wouldn't that upset you more as an artist that people are indifferent to your work?
You can't. There is something about that.
I feel
that crowd on a scale of 1 to 10 that lands at a 6.
Yeah, if people hate you, they're still putting your name out there as hatred. That's still advertising.
So do you read YouTube comments?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
You read all of them?
I don't like that about myself.
Yeah.
For a while, I would be the first person to comment on my YouTube videos.
Okay, well that's...
Yeah, there's a... All right, let's...
What would you say?
This guy sucks. I was just kind of beat him to the punch.
I have a whole special called I Liked His Old Stuff Better.
Next bet, or next voicemail.
All right.
Hi, Kyle, Shane, and Charlene. This is Alex. I was calling about the Eagles. I think the Eagles are great. I think they're a rad band. They rock. There's actually a great clip of Joe Walsh recording with the Foo Fighters online on a song called The Outside. And the solo is incredibly simple, but you see him playing it moves Taylor Hawkins like musically in a way that's just really honestly encapsulating, I thought.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I used to also play at these like music camps where they would pair you off into bands and you would play on Friday night. And every day they had different bands playing on this big monitor through their like PA system. And the Eagles were one of the bands that would play, and on the screen on this DVD, I think it was Live When Hell Freezes Over or something. But it was a really great band to be introduced to at like a young age and be live on a stage.
I can see that.
Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for the
He didn't provide a link to the YouTube video.
No, he didn't.
Is it too much to say I think the Foo Fighters might be this generation's Eagles?
Whoa.
Oh.
Hit after hit, everybody's liking them, but then it's like,
nobody wants to be like a fan.
I'm not putting on the Foo Fighters because they'll be on somewhere during the day.
Hey, show us the email you got from Dave Grohl, Todd.
Yeah. Well, you got
I got no Dave Grohl.
Pat Smear in there.
Got no Dave
Who's in
Grohl.
there?
Got no Dave Grohl.
I feel like that's what I was saying earlier about the Counting Crows. I feel like this is like the Eagles of this. I mean, I guess they're
That would
older
be
band.
that 20, 25 years, 90s.
Yeah, so like 20.
Matchbox 20 seems to get a lot of.
Matchbox 20. I guess they are kind of in that same space.
I have like
they sound more like the Eagles than any of those other bands to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not Sonic, but like popularity. They're everywhere. It's hard to go through your day not hearing a Foo Fighters song if you're in the world.
Yeah, if you take your headphones out,
And I'm never like, that song sucks. I'm just like, oh yeah, there's another Foo Fighters song. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, the Foo Fighters are playing, I should go see the Foo Fighters. I like them fine. I like what they do.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna.
They kind of been doing the same thing for a long time. I mean, I like the Foo Fighters, and I would see them, but they've kind of been doing the same formula for a while.
Yeah, it's like drinking a glass of water. Like, there's water around. I'm gonna have some water eventually.
We're drinking water as we speak.
Yeah, it was just here when we got here. It's gonna be around.
This is okay. This one does not seem to be pro.
All right, give me some spice.
Hey, everybody. Big fan of the show. Not a big fan of the Eagles. Hotel California is really nails on a chalkboard for me, man. The overly long, poorly placed, and tragically executed guitar solo is just indefensible. And if you read or pay attention to the lyrics, they sound like the synopsis of an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And not unlike something that like a weekend dad would use as an excuse for missing their kid's graduation. Ugh, it's rough, man. Good luck with this one, boys.
All right. They got another meow meow on there.
I'm a simple person. I like it when guys playing a guitar solo. It's like, no, you play the same thing I'm playing.
Yeah, I like that guitar solo on that song too.
Yeah, Skinner did it.
I don't know why I thought it was
wonderfully.
ill placed.
Yeah.
I feel like he just doesn't want to like.
But that guy was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Ugh. You gotta like when someone comes in with a guttural no. Okay, that's never.
We got any more?
Yeah, we got a lot. There are a lot.
Yeah, what's up, boys? My name is Vinny, calling about the Eagles.
How's Vinny think about the Eagles?
Guy's on Oxy.
He thinks we're talking about the football team.
Most people's musical preferences, personally, I think they suck. But what I will say is that I can't stand most bands that have risen to such high levels of popularity, like the Eagles, when there's such a discrepancy with all of their songs. So if you look at like Spotify, you've got their third song, I don't even know what it is, at about 200 million views or something
One
like
of
that.
these nights.
And then you've got Take It Easy at 500 million views, I think, maybe, or listens. And then you've got in Hotel California, which I know is a good song, but it's just, I can't listen to it anymore. And it's almost 1.5 billion listens. So there's just such a vast discrepancy between their most popular song and their fourth most popular song, which I don't even know what it is. I can't even name four.
I guess like the argument he's making is that they have a super hit, and then they have a super hit.
I think like you're saying a discrepancy. I think you could find the common denominators. All those numbers are really big.
Yeah.
Oh, those are California's annual.
Well, like, what does he think? Oh my God, they're within one listen of each other. Yeah, some people like some songs more than they like others.
Yeah, it's either hits or B-sides, man.
That's an interesting take.
I appreciate you being contrarian.
Yeah, at least he found an angle. Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Like if you need graphs to execute your musical taste,
I'm gonna look at Spotify the Eagles because I want to find an Eagles song that I've not heard before.
Let's see what else.
Eagles songs. To be honest, I didn't even know "Take It Easy" was Eagles. But anyway, that's all I got. They're fine. They're okay. But I just, if you're going to say the band is amazing, then the band and its catalog should be amazing, not the one song that they made. It should be,
This is go ahead, Todd. Talk over it, man.
And this is also coming from a dude who's written songs, but they all pretty much suck. And I'm pretty sure nobody's heard of any of the songs I've ever written. So, hey, you guys keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
I don't. It seems like he's saying like they're a one-hit wonder. They're like a 300 hit wonder.
Yeah. I had to scroll down for a while. I forgot "Life in the Fast Lane's" a good one. "Lion Eyes," "Witchy Woman." "Witchy Woman's" a great tune.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Now the long run. In the long run, I'm never gonna say.
Yeah.
See, now I don't know Doolin Dalton. Never heard that one.
No, that I don't know.
So they got some.
Yeah.
How many listens on that one?
How many listens on Dueling Dalton?
Doolin Dalton. Let's go.
I bet it's in 100 million.
One listen.
Yeah. It's off their new album. I don't know how to look at it to see the. Hey, they got some B-sides out there.
Yeah. All right.
"Busy Being Fabulous." That's an Eagles tune.
That's a fat drummer song if I've ever heard one. Let's see what this guy's to say. We're having trouble playing some of these voicemails because
New York Minute. That's for you fellas living here.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, look at us.
New York, baby.
Hollywood Waltz. That was from
Okay,
me.
this is the Big Lebowski.
You go you buy Coastal. Spread this Eagles love.
I got places both cities.
All right, here we
Man,
go.
I don't care what the dude said in the Big Lebowski. The Eagles are a great freaking band, man. The list of hits is insane, and if you got any band that produces 1, 2, 3 solo acts that go on to have good careers, that's a great freaking band. Just, you can't deny it. They're great.
Okay.
That's a good point. If a band breaks up and then they all turn out, like a bunch of them turn out to do well, that's an argument in their favor, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Police, like Sting had a pop career, Stuart Copeland wrote all those ballets, and then Andy Sumner was scoring movies.
Andy Sumner's opening for me on the road.
What?
Show me the email. Show me the email.
I just wanted to make that one.
God,
I was not successful.
I was beginning to believe it.
Show me Gordon Sumner's name in your phone. I know everybody's real names.
We got one left, I think.
A friend of mine had a fake ID, and he was real proud that he had the name Gordon Sumner on it. That's Sting's real name. He's like, look at the name. It's Sting. Nobody will know. And I think he went to some place. He's like, oh, you're Sting? He's like, you got me.
Well, this last one's not going to play, guys. I fucked this up too.
Hey, take it easy.
Yeah, some of these aren't playing, but
all right. So let's throw in an Eagles tune to you.
Oh,
I'm
doing
never
all the
gonna,
tech here, buddy.
I'm never gonna put the Eagles on purpose.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna listen to the Eagles when they are on at a grocery store. Some songs I would say sound better because you did like that was the beauty of radio. That was the beauty of like having like car radio is like the song was on in that moment and that made you excited for the song versus I can put this on.
The on-demandness of it may have ruined some of the Eagles, like
or any music that like there was an exciting thing about hearing something on the radio, like maybe especially something they didn't play a lot, or like college radio stations that you had to drive to a part of town where you can get the signal and hear certain music. Like
you had to do that.
Oh yeah,
that's wild.
This dude's old, man. I'm like 23. I don't get this.
Yeah, you're young and hip.
I don't get it. I don't get what he's talking about, man.
Listen, I appeal to a very specific fan base.
Well, I think we
tell me how Brian Wilson's in your phone now.
You can cut out all the stuff about me name dropping.
Living room.
Oh, we're keeping that in. That's the best stuff we got here, Todd. Unless you want us to.
You backed it up. That's what's fun.
That's the awesome part. I think
there's probably a few Larses out there, but I don't know many Slashes.
I guess more pro Eagle than I thought.
In conclusion,
the
Eagles are fine.
Yeah, they're fine. They haven't done anything wrong. The only people they really seem to have hurt is each other. Which is fine. That's what family's for.
And also, if you're adhering to the Big Lebowski's standard of living, like you're probably fucking up a lot of other things. In life.
That's
like
the thing is,
he wasn't nailing it. We like him, but he wasn't crushing it.
Yeah, he's a guy I like to hang out with, but not always be around.
Yeah.
Kind of want to know what they get paid for a show. The Eagles. What do you think?
Maybe I can Google it real quick on a fun out.
That's got to be a good 1.5 mil, maybe
per show.
I charge 1.4. They're more popular than I am. So I'd say 1.4.
Well, they're doing slightly smaller venues than you, and they're taking prices higher.
But they got to spread it out amongst the guys. You're walking away with it. What are you giving the openers? $350. What's in a room in a Holiday Inn Express,
buddy? Okay, Todd. Before I tell you what the Eagles make per show,
DraftKings. Let's take some bets.
Yeah, I just found what the estimation is. Yeah, tell them where they can find you. Like what you're plugging. We probably should.
Oh, I have a new special called Domestic Short Hair. It's on YouTube. You can watch it for free on the All Things Comedy YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, there's a million posts about it on my Instagram, Todd Barry. My Twitter. Yeah, I said Twitter, not
the other one. Yeah.
My formerly verified Twitter account.
Really?
I wish that didn't bother me as much as it does.
Somebody with a blue check is one of the most unattractive things to see.
But you had one prior to
Yeah, but now if I see somebody with one, I'm like, I want
it's completely reversed.
Your integrity's still in check by not having that.
So. Yeah, no, I'm not going to buy it.
I hope mine.
Not even with your 1.4 million a show. It's the principle. Are the Eagles verified on Twitter?
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're writing it off on their taxes too.
When you tell us how much they make per show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Check out Todd's special. Kyle, you can find him at Kyle Kinane across the internet. I'm Shane Torres on all the stuff. Find my stuff out there. Special coming out December 10th.
December 10th. Also have a website, toddbarry.com, but December 10th for trains.
Yeah. And the Eagles pull in $3.5 million per show.
Sounds about right.
But you guys split it 5 ways, though.
Yeah, I wonder how they split it.
Oh, well, that was like part of the lawsuit with the bass player. They kicked him out.
Yeah.
He sued them because they were like, when they started, it was an even split 5 ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then Henley and Fry were like, no, we're getting more money. And they cut down his percentage, and then they sued him and settled out of court.
That is petty, but then you got to look at all right, well, you're going to get songwriting fees if you're writing a song. You're getting that. And then you're playing a lot more strings.
Yeah, but you're getting that. If you but you're getting compensated if you wrote it.
And you're looking over at Randy, just smiling, going doom, 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 doom. Give me my fifth of that $3 million, boys. Doom. Hey, why don't you walk it up a few frets and earn it? You know,
600,000 right here.
REM did it right. They did a 4-way split from the get-go. They just said
they kept it that way.
Every song is written by the whole band.
Good for them.
Well, I without research, I could probably guess that REM had a better ethos than the Eagles.
Yeah, and they'll never get back together either.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Well, everyone, this has been another episode of No Accounting for Taste on the All Things Comedy Network, Bill Burr's propaganda machine.
I hope it gave you a peaceful, easy feeling.
Yeah. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for being here, Todd.